Alright, this is the last one, I promise. So we stopped with using the marquee tool on the rectangular marquee to select the square that we had created. I'm going to cut that now using Control X and take this time to erase what's left behind. Now I'm going to do the exact same set of steps, but this time I'm not going to manipulate the original square in any way. So I'm going to paste it in 2, 3, 4 times. And this time I am going to do it exactly like I did when we originally went through this project. So this will be my layer 8 would be my layer 4, so I'd put it down in the lower left. Layer 7 would go down here. Layer 6 would be my layer 2. So go in quadrant 2. And layer 5 is because its lowest number would be the layer 1. And that would go in quadrant 1. Alright, and then layer 5 stays as it is. Layer 6 gets rotated 90 CW. And then you shouldn't have to line them up, but I'm guessing that because I didn't actually start these out completely square, I have to do that. Layer 7 gets twice. And then layer 8 goes 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. So you can see that it creates this radiation from the center of the squares. Now you could do this infinitely. You could now you could use the elliptical marquee or the marquee selection to select a square and do the whole thing over again, but we're going to stop at this point. However, we are going to crop down all this extra white space. We don't want all that. And you can crop it to leave a border, or you can crop it so that it creates just a nice square image without a border. That's going to be up to you. Oh, let's choose crop and not the marquee selection. So we're going to crop it and then save. And this will be called the square radial design. And I'm just going to save it. I'm going to save it as a JPEG and as a PXD, but just a JPEG to start, so that it is ready to go into my Pixlr account. Now I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to actually create this with the images that I have saved, and then I will show you about putting them into Carbonmade. Okay, what you see here is my square image that I have created a tessellation of by cutting this side here and pasting it to the bottom. And then I've copied and pasted some of my symbols on top. So I have a heart, I have a logo from where I went to high school, on the flute, because I played that for a few years, and then the lotus flower. So what I'm going to do is, I still have all of my layers separate over here. I've saved it as a PXD, and I'm going to flatten that image. Use the magic wand tool to select the negative space, or the white background. Invert selection. And I'm actually going to cut this one this time, so I want to make sure there's nothing left behind. And I'll paste it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. You see, I've been working on this canvas for a while, so my layer numbers just keep growing, but it doesn't make really any difference there. I'm going to start with my layer 10 up in the top right. I'll move to layer 9 and rotate that 90 degrees counterclockwise so that I can move it. And then again on these, the bottom layers, I'm going to take those away just so I can make sure that I'm getting this lined up exactly where it needs to be. I don't want to leave any spaces there. So I'm actually using the arrows on the keyboard to move this also. So it's on there now. I'll move to this layer, and I'm doing 90 CW twice to get it where it needs to be. Again, I'll use the arrows on the keyboard, and I'm actually going to zoom in a bit too so I can get a little bit closer. Make sure that that is getting lined up, you know, just really spot on. And we'll go to our final layer, and again 3 times that we're rotating this. Let's actually make it visible, that'll help, right? Zoom out a little bit and move it to where it needs to be. And now this one, because I have been so specific with the other layers, this one should fit in like a glove. Perfect. And you can see it looks quite nice, quite interesting there. So as I said before, now I'm going to take this rectangular marquee tool, and it's already set to a fixed size, and then the width and the height are the same. And I'm actually going to put those back to 600. And that's, you know, that's how we want it to stay. We want it to stay to make a square. And I'm going to use that to select, or not. Maybe well, I'm going to do fixed size. You know what, let's do aspect ratio. That'll keep it square. But I'm just going to use that to select my square. Control. Before I can Control X to cut it, I do need to flatten my layers down here. So we're going to first save it as a PXD. And then we'll flatten layer, flatten image. Now I'm going to cut it. And you can see that there was some left behind. So maybe I didn't line them up as well as I thought. But it's fairly close. Close enough where I don't think you'll really be able to see the difference in the end. So now I'm going to paste it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can tell that this canvas isn't going to be big enough for all of them. So I'm going to change the canvas size. Again, you can always make the canvas size bigger than you need it, and you can crop it down later. And we'll, again, anchor it to the middle. So now, my layer 14, I'll move to the top left. My layer 13, I'm going to rotate and then move to the top right. And you can see, definitely at this point, this canvas isn't big enough, even though I made it larger. So I'll take a moment to bump that up. Now I can move that without a worry and get it lined up. Layer 12, I need to rotate twice. Get that lined up. And the next layer, I will rotate 3 times. And then get it lined up. And I will zoom in a bit here and just check at the center point here to see that they are that these are lined up where it needs to be lined up. You can actually see there is some white space to the right of the first image. And that is where this is getting a little I just don't want that white space to grow. So we should be able to see it on all sides. So now when I zoom in, I have my image is all lined up, so I can crop it down. I'm just going to leave a very thin white border on the whole thing and flatten it straight out and save it. And again, it has to be saved as a JPEG in order to go into Carbon-Made. So I'm going to leave that JPEG with quality of 100. So now there's my Google image for an actual heart. I'm going to head to Carbon-Made. Alright, and so you already have our pictures in there. We're going to add it into our tessellations project. Right now you should have your weave silks in there and the 2 practice ones for this. To add things, we're adding pieces. Add pieces up here from computer. And there's my finished radial one. And well, it looks like I have a couple of them. I'm going to save that one. Actually, so if you click on one, press Control, you can select more than one image. And I had a couple there, so actually this is not the one. So I have the finished radial one here and the square one that will open. Once those are up, you select Done, and then you can see that your tessellations are now included on this image. They look pretty sweet. I'm quite happy with those. So after all that, you can log out, and then I will be grading all of your work straight from your Carbon-Made portfolio. So make sure that you have given me your default domain here so that I can log into your Carbon-Made to grade these. All right, good luck, you guys, and have a wonderful final exam.